Okay, hello USA Elementary. We are now on to chapters 3, 4, and 5 of our Mouseford Academy book, Sea Turtles Rescue by Thea Stilton. Nest Nannies. After James Ratteran's lesson, Nikki and Paulina hurried to the beach. For a few weeks now, they had been going down to check on the turtle's nest every day. Good news, Paulina, said Nikki. The temperature of the sand is the same. She jotted down a few notes. This summer has gone by faster than a hamster on a wheel, said Paulina. Just a few more days and the eggs will hatch. A sad expression flitted across her snout. I'm going to miss all this. The two mouselets looked around. The sand glittered beneath the rays of the sun, and the only sound that broke the silence was the gentle lapping of the waves against the shore. Paulina closed her eyes and took a deep breath of the salty air. Suddenly a shrill squeak broke the spell. Hey, Nest Nannies, how's it going down here? It was Ruby Flashy Fur. She was jogging along the shore with her friends, the Ruby crew, Alicia, Connie, and Zoe. Are you still all wrapped up in those silly eggs? Ruby asked with a smirk. Nikki put a paw on her hip. Yes, we are. Do you have a problem with that? Oh, no, no problem at all, Ruby giggled. Fussing over eggs seems like the perfect activity for you, eggheads. Alicia, Connie, and Zoe snickered together. Then they sprinted off towards the beach. Nikki rolled her eyes. Sometimes those four rodents are just the worst. You said it, sis, said Paulina. But who cares? Let's not get our tails in a twist over their silly jokes. Just then the mouselets heard a familiar squeak. Nikki! Paulina! It was Pam, Colette, Violet, and Mike scurrying to meet them. Hey, mouselets, said Paulina in surprise. What are you doing here, and what's the big rush? We came to give you some big news, Violet replied. This is James Ratterton's assistant, Mike. We told him all about the sea turtle nest you're caring for. And guess what? Paulina interjected. He wants to turn your loggerhead turtles into movie stars. Chapter 5, the first interview. Mike, Nikki, and Paulina began discussing the project. Together, they decided the film should have lots of general information about turtles, plus interviews with the rodents taking care of the nest. It would end with a video of the eggs hatching. This documentary will be a great way to spread the word about how important it is to protect endangered species, Paulina said. As the green mice always say, nature needs you. After class the next day, Colette, Violet, and Mike climbed into Pam's Jeep and headed south. Their destination, Tide House, home of Professor Ian Van Kraken's laboratory. The marine biology professor was the first rodent Nikki and Paulina had turned to when they discovered the nest. Mike definitely wanted to interview him for the documentary. Welcome, students, said the professor, ushering them into his lab. I'm ready to answer your questions. Mike and the Thea sisters quickly prepared a small set. Then Mike turned on his video camera and began filming. Professor Van Kraken, asked Colette, would you tell us why your students' work is so important? Of course, the professor began. Loggerhead sea turtles could become endangered, so it's vital to protect their nests from predators and other threats. New hatchlings are the key to continuing the species. The mouselets nodded, and Professor Van Kraken continued. Female sea turtles nest every 2 to 3 years. They bury their eggs in the sand. When the eggs hatch, the little turtles work together to dig their way out. When night comes, they head towards the sea, using the light of the horizon to guide them. Extraordinary, whispered Colette. According to studies, continued the professor, if they aren't disturbed, female turtles remember the beach where they were born. They use Earth's magnetic field to find their way back as adults when they return to lay their eggs. After the interview, the Thea sisters helped Mike put away his equipment. The professor was absolutely fab, you mouse, he commanded. Tomorrow we can go to film the nest. Perfect. We'll set up the cameras on the beach, said Pam. The young mice continued chatting as they headed back to the academy. They were so busy talking, they didn't realize someone was watching them. Chapter 6. Ruby Crew reporting for duty. Ruby had overheard bits of the conversation between Mike and the Thea sisters, and she was more curious than a cat. What are they up to this time? She muttered, turning towards the entrance to the cafeteria. She bumped into Ellie, who was hurrying out. Hey, watch where you're going, Ruby snapped. Oh, sorry. I was running to Turtle Beach to bring snacks for Nikki and Paulina. I made cookies. Ruby cut her off. By the way, do you know what the Thea sisters are up to? A few minutes ago, I saw them with Ratterton's assistant. Ellie brightened. Oh, you didn't know? Mike wants to make a documentary about the hatching of the baby turtles. He asked the Thea sisters for help. Ruby's snout fell open in amazement. Before she could squeak, Ellie was on her way again. Okay, I've got to run. Bye. There was no time to waste. Ruby immediately called an emergency meeting of the Ruby Crew. Can you believe it? Ruby bellowed as soon as the other mouselets entered her room. The Thea sisters are going to be stars in a real movie. And it's all because they spent so much time with those silly eggs. Well, said Connie, they did spend their entire summer babysitting those turtles. Don't you think they deserve it? What a load of goat's cheese, Ruby replied. I don't care what they've done. I will not allow the Thea sisters to become the center of attention yet again. Those mouselets are a total thorn in my paw. But Ruby, interjected Alicia, Nikki and Paulina really are environmentalists. Ruby waved a paw dismissively. Well, then we'll also have to become environmentalists. Alicia, Connie, and Zoe looked at her in surprise. Crew, it's time to listen to your captain, Ruby said. We can have our cheese and eat it too. I may not be a great environmentalist yet, she went on smiling slyly, but I am a great actress. All right. That's it for today. Until next time, enjoy your summer, and I hope you have a lot of fun in the sun. Bye.